Okay, so now let's actually dive into how Metasploit works, how meterpreter works, how you can start a listening device on your attacking machine, and how hackers actually use this to gain control of a system. Now, I would like to tell everyone that this is only for education purposes, and I'm doing it on my home network on two of my PCs that I own. If you want to try this out, if you want to get your hands dirty, you can do it, but you should have authorization of both the PC owners that you are using. Alright, so here we have a little slide on how this works. So it's nothing much that is happening here. Alright, so we have an attacking device, which in our case is a Parrot machine. So it's a Parrot OS machine, which is a Debian based system. So here what's happening is that the attacker starts listening. It creates a payload file, which is basically malicious code that will also be created for us. We don't have to write anything because there are automated tools for everything these days. So here we have our attacking device and it's just sitting there. It's just listening, right? So we'll go through a set of commands which will create a file, and it will have our IP address, which will have the attacker's IP address, right? So the file that we create will have the IP address of the attacker, and we'll send that file over to the victims. Now we won't be covering how you can do this without the victim knowing, because we'll be creating a web server onto our Parrot machine, and because it's on the same network, we can host that web server, we can open that server onto that machine as well. That is a Windows machine right here. That will be our victim. Here, what we are doing, we can create the victim machine by just opening the file which has the malicious code, and just it goes peekaboo, right? So it won't show anything, it won't run anything, it won't open anything, but it will create a backdoor to your parent system, which you can do anything imaginable. So this is my home network and this is my home setup, and I'm only doing this to the computers that I own myself. Okay, so enough of this. Let's go on to the command line and let's start meterpreter. Okay, so here I have a Parrot system up and running. So this is a Debian based system, as I told earlier. So here the first thing that we have to do, we have to create an MSF Venom file. Now I have already written that. Yeah, it's somewhere here. Okay, so this is for Linux, as you can see. So you can create different MSF Venom files for different systems. So here, if I just go on MSF Venom, so you can do it with any command in Linux you have. I just have to type MSF Venom, which creates a malicious file or a Venom file. Alright, and we can create, go to help, and it will show us everything imaginable, all the payloads that we need. We can list the payloads, we can see what we want. For this example, we are going to be using the Windows payload option. So this is the Windows payload, and right here I'll explain what's going on. So this P right here will tell MSF Venom that this is the payload, which is Windows meterpreter reverse TCP. So what is a reverse TCP connection? It is basically that we are listening and the host or the victim will connect to us. That means the attacker does not have to connect to anything. It does not have to hack anything. It does not have to go into anywhere. The victim goes to the attacker. The attacker is just sitting there listening. The victim's PC will open a file and it will connect to the attacker, right? And we have our L host, right? So I'm using Parrot in this case, but I'll just replace it with my IP. This is my local IP. Right, and then we have the port that we need to specify, which is 4444. You can use any port if it's not designated. There are a lot of ports which are not designated. You can use any one. Then we needed to be an exe format file because we are using it for Windows, and then just where we want to save the file, right? So you can make this anywhere you want. I'll just create payloads 1 2 3 because I have already created one. Press enter. It will take some time. It will create a payload for you, and once the payload is opened, or once the file is open, it will connect back to this, which is the local host or the L host 192.168.0.134, which is my Parrot IP, which you can check by going here, and right here is my IP address. All right. Next, you have to start up meterpreter, or you have to start up the meterpreter or the MSF console. To do that, you have to type MSF console, press enter. It will display some ASCII art. It does take some time to start, and it will totally transform the way you look at the terminal. Here, as you can see, we've got some ASCII art and we are in the MSF console. Alright, so here we have to specify some parameters before we start listening. Okay, so first you have to select what we want to use. So if you go on up, I cannot go because I just cleared it. So if you remember, we used an exploit multi-handler, right? So you have to go on here and type exploit multi-handler. Press enter and we have got into the exploit multi-handler. Then we have to set the payload, right? So we go on set payload and we have to do it with Windows. Whoops. Okay, so we have to go with Windows, then meterpreter, then reverse TCP, right? Press enter and we have set the payload, right? Then we have to select the L host. So we basically are giving just the parameters that we need for the system to start listening here. Then you have to select the L port. Be sure to make this caps. Okay, this is the same thing that we put on the payload, right? Okay, so now we just have to go on show options to check if everything is right. So we have exit function processes. We don't have to do anything, worry about that. L host, L port, the listen address, and the exploit target. All right. So this is a wildcard. That means any Windows PC that opens that file will connect back to here. Alright, and then just we have to go and press run or exploit. Both commands might work, and it started a reverse TCP handler on 192.168.134. Now I'll just host a website, not hosting, but because it's on the same network, I can access whatever I have here there. So to do that, I'll just start a Python server, which you can go onto your home directory because I want to access all the files. All right, so I'll just find the command. So it was Python 3. So just go on Python 3 http.server then 8080. Okay, so I'm just gonna specify the flag here. Press enter. Oh, it's already in use. Okay, so I have to stop it if it's running somewhere. Okay, address already in use. Okay, so I can just select 8000, right? So it's starting http on 8000. So http 000 I can just copy that, and if I paste it on my Mac machine, okay, so I did not copy the URL, paste it on the Mac machine, it's not working. But if I specify the parent IP here, it will start working. Okay, so here we have to specify the parent IP .0.134, and because it's in the same network, voila. Okay, so we have got the directory listing for this IP. I can just go on to the directory where I saved it. So it's on home. We go on desktop, and here we go on the desktop and we press payload.exe. So it has started downloading and it is showing that it's an insecure. Okay, so here we have got into the directory and we have downloaded the file. So now this will only work on a Windows PC. So let me just go on to the PC, and once meterpreter starts here, I'll show you everything that's going on the PC as well as on this system. So we can run any command, and we just have to disable a few firewalls from the Windows PC and it'll be good to go. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Just a little bit of a disclaimer. I know I have been annoying you with this, but it's very necessary to know that this is, so we can run any command and we just have to disable a few firewalls from the Windows PC and it'll be good to go. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Just a little bit of a disclaimer. I know I have been annoying you with this, but it's very necessary to know that this is only for educational purposes. And if you have to do this on computers that you own, on a network that you own, on something that you can mess around with, or use a server. Don't use a server that you don't own, like I did. I have started my PC right here and I've connected it through SSH to my Mac machine so I can play around with it, right? So thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, be sure to smash that like button down there, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.